Sound. I think we have sound. We're here. We made it. We have a little bit more of a moody setup today, guys. Um, Hello and welcome, by the way, to the Scrutinizing Sundays show. Uh, I just moved to a different department, and now I have a different setup for a different set of goals I'm accomplishing, along with the original set of goals I am accomplishing, which is to run a business and to, you know, do that. So what we got here is a desk. I got a side desk over here. This is actually just a folding table. I just folded it out. This is the original working desk. And then I have a few other pieces of stuff with me, and hopefully you guys can learn from what I'm doing here. I made a few, not errors, but like learned a few things along the way, getting some equipment for doing this kind of thing, because this is sort of new to me, but I love doing it. So here I am doing it. And what we got here, first of all, is a few different things. So this right here is called a switcher, and its job is to control camera input. So I have 3 cameras running into this, and I have this running into my computer via USB. And I also have the HDMI running to my monitor here, my big TV. So I can see multiple things. Here's what that looks like if you're looking at my setup this way. This is a output monitoring system that you would normally not see if you were like streaming or whatever. Like you only see the part where the actual output, but this is showing someone like each camera view as they monitor it. So that's kind of nifty. And we can of course hit different buttons, as you can see my fingers over here, and I'm touching different buttons and it's changing. These back 2 cameras are set to auto adjust exposure. So they're going to move in and out depending on where I put my face and stuff, because I got weird lighting going on. I still have my simple old lights for now because they're good enough. We'll deal with the lighting in a second. I was told most important things are sound. You want to get sound right first, and then, you know, you can deal with camera quality and lighting afterwards. So we're working on that, but this is where we're at right now. And so, yeah, so as I'm live streaming and doing fun things, I can change the camera and you can see different things. Now, the multiple cameras are going to be something that I use when I'm interviewing other builders, people on the podcast, stuff like that, for, you know, back and forth and that kind of thing. But the other thing that I'm going to be doing here is I'm actually going to have a second setup that I'm using for an entirely different show, for an entirely different purpose, totally non-professional. But the purpose is to kind of grow social life and to do a fun thing. You know, I like producing, I like entertaining. And so we're going to start this totally different show, and we're going to turn this table diagonally, put it in the corner here. And we're going to see how that goes. Once that's ready, first one's going live on May 17th, and I'm just going to work with it as it comes. But I have a little bit of the equipment for it now. A few more things arriving tomorrow as well. But yeah, so we can basically do this, which is really cool to me. This is really new. You could probably see over here in the corner. Where's the view? Yeah, so you see these little green bars that are coming on this guy. This is my Scarlett 18i20. This has 8 mic inputs. So as you can see, I have 1 microphone in front of me currently, but I have a few others that are over there on the table. And the whole like table thing I'm going to set up, we got 5 mics. And then of course these 3 camera views, and we're just going to see what happens basically. But yeah, that's pretty nifty to me. Because I'm switching to this table format, previously I had those 3 white chairs, and that's what I was recording with. And I had a floor stand for my mics, but that stuff is no longer relevant since I'm going to be doing all of this in a table. The other thing I was trying to do was get a setup so that when I have a call with somebody professionally, I can actually like make it look a little bit like I'm prepared. I'm not just like a guy with a webcam with who knows what's behind me, right? So hopefully that sells a little bit better. Don't know there, but that's what we got. So from the screen side on the TV, I can either check out what I'm seeing here out of the video, or of course it's a TV. So I can switch also to what the computer is seeing. So this is what StreamYard, if y'all don't know what it looks like to drive StreamYard, I'm going to give you a little bit of a loop here. What would happen if I just like opened up the comments? This is kind of what it looks like. Oh, look, there's the comments right there. Look who we got. We got Charlotte Nice there, the werewolf. Hello, Charlotte. How's it going? Is it Saturday or is it a Mandela effect? I'm not sure what the Mandela effect is, but if I had Google open, I would look it up. Well, this is pretty cool. So one of these days, I'll forward the setup of the future of my channel. You know what? Take your time because it's no rush. And honestly, just producing is more valuable than having the right things to produce. For the longest time, I did not. So it's most important to just produce it. When I started doing this stuff and started putting this stuff on the internet, I was on a laptop. I had this laptop and I was in my car. I was climbing towers. I did not have any sort of means of doing craziness and fancy setups. I was barely in a car and I had air conditioning. That was my setup. Otherwise I was sleeping in the in the tower transmitter building. Anyway, enough of that. So we got the stream going, we got the camera. That's the setup. That's where we're at. So you're updated with that. Now, I do have some things. I'm also checking like sound quality. I'm in a open room and I have a hard floor, not a carpet in here. So I'm also going to listen to this when it plays back and see how echoey it sounds. It's probably going to be a little bit echoey, but like it'd be a good idea to get a carpet below this and maybe put some sound panels up on the walls. I don't know about that part, but I'm just like testing a few things right now, and we're just kind of chilling. But I did have some things I wanted to talk about professionally speaking. Since we're here, I might as well. And that is that if you focus on one thing, you can do it in half the time wow, that's a great note. That's a terribly written note. So what I meant to say was you can, if you learn how to get good at something, you can both do it faster than people and you're going to be able to do it better than other people because they are distracted with different things. That is true for any business and is true for, anything. Now, some businesses like do multiple things because that's like the thing they're trying to solve. It doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. It just means that if you want to have a problem solved a particular way, you go to a particular person for it. For example, if I had a problem with my knee, it was a very specific problem, I would want to look up who the doctors are that solve that problem, and I would go to them because I like really want it to be fixed right the first time. So for people that are very particular about that kind of thing, it pays to find someone who's good. So long story short, Rapid Designs here. My target is not necessarily, and like the more work I get, the more I figure out the different like ways people do this in this world. And there are many different kinds of customers for this kind of work. And it's becoming apparent to me that I'm very much fitting in to, like, I don't want to say like the dumbed down version, but what I'm trying to do is my set of skills and technology fit into a position where somebody already needs something drafted, or they already know what they need to like 80 or 90%, and they just need it drafted. So there's like, if somebody approaches you and they say like, we need some plans and we don't know anything about what we want, there is a quantity of energy that must be expended to get them to the point that they know what they want. And there's a bunch of experience and stuff you got to know to get someone through that so that you can design them and lay them out a house they're going to enjoy. And I have some of those skills. I've been doing that, but also I'm very I'm very interested in knowing what my niche is and being specific, and which people I can help the most and which people I can help the best and like the best return for the money and all those things. So that's what we're thinking about. And so that note kind of reminded me that like, you don't, when you're selling somebody on yourself, and you are a specialist, you need them to know that they're going to have a very specific solution to a specific problem. It's like, listen, yes, you could go to somebody else and pay less money. But like in drafting, for example, yeah, you could go find the draftsman who's going to charge you 60 cents a square foot to draw your plans. But he also has to do his taxes, and he also has to, sweep his floors. And he also has to I'm not coming up with good ideas right now, but he also has to come up with all these other things, and he has to do all these other things that are part of running a business, because it's like, if they don't understand how to grow a drafting company, they're just going to be the one guy show. And if that's what they do, they're going to have other things distracting them. So not quite what we're about here. And we're going to try something a little bit different. But my note otherwise says, oh, yeah. So no disrespect to anybody who wants to get house plans done, or anybody that I've drawn for, anybody ever, anywhere. But there are different levels of, like I just said, people understanding what they want. And the catch is, everybody thinks they know what they want already out of the gate, unless they don't. Like, some people are just like, yeah, we're just starting out, we don't really know what we're getting into. Those people are okay, fair. But most people approach and they're like, hey, yeah, I have this, we got this floor plan we liked online, and it's really, really great. And then we have these other pictures here of some exteriors that we like. And that's really cool. We want to go with that. Can we get this done? Right now, here's the thing, is there's so much nuance, and it's very difficult to tell like what kind of person is going to be like actually easy to do, and what kind of person is going to be not. And the reason that's important is I'm running a business where the main expense is the time that it takes somebody to draft the plans. So labor being the thing that I really got to figure out. And what I've figured out over the past few months is, for the particular niche that I'm solving, most of the cost comes from like that time to draw the plans. And that time to draw the plans is actually very short, because of how systematized and how good our tech is, and how fast like Rapid Designs can draft a plan. So what's the other variable? The other variable is how much time are you going to spend, also because of the way we do our meetings and we review plans. That's the other variable. And so however much time you're going to be in a meeting with somebody can double the price. It can triple the price, because it's all hourly, right? So if I'm running a business where I know that if I charge a certain dollar per square foot, for the most part, that's correlated to time to draw the plan. Let's assume it is, right? So if I draw 100 square feet, it takes me 1 hour. If I draw 200 square feet, it takes me 2 hours, right? Let's assume that. Well, if I draw 200 square feet for an easy customer who already knew what they wanted, and it takes 2 hours, or I could draw 200 square feet for a customer that doesn't quite know what they wanted, and we have to spend 1 hour talking about what they want, or showing them the thing and then changing it and tweaking it to get it just right. Well, that now costs 50% more to my business, because somebody is drawing more. There's more work going into the thing. And so it was very incumbent upon me to figure out what are the kinds of people that make that portion of the project huge. I'm not going to exaggerate. I did a project where I spent at least like a sum total of like 20 hours in meetings, which is a lot for, if y'all don't know, someone who's just getting a house plan done. 20 hours in a meeting is a lot. If you already know what you want. And part of that is because I didn't know how to gauge what kind of person this was going to be, their competence, because there's a whole bunch of factors that go into it, right? Their competence is one of them. If they kind of get houses and they know it, like if I'm drawing a spec for a builder, they get it. All they need is the plan. And like, I'll show them like one or two things in 3D and they're like, cool, let's do this. But if I'm drawing it for somebody who's never built a house before and they don't like quite understand how homes are built and they have all these questions, as well as some people just have a hard time seeing things. And so if you take a floor plan that someone likes and then you try to match it to an exterior of a house that's like with a different floor plan, one of the things that the designer's job is to look at that and say, yes, we can mimic that exterior style with this floor plan by stretching these pieces, or no, we can't. Or yes, we can, but it's going to be very difficult and I'm going to have to change a lot. And so not only do you have to be able to like know how you're going to change it to make it work, but you also have to know like how much, like if they're going to want to change it, if that makes sense. So on one particular project I was doing, I took the floor plan they liked. I slapped the exterior of another thing they liked on it, and I made it look, I am not kidding, almost exactly like the exterior they said they liked. And they were like, we don't really like it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's my fault for misjudging the situation. Fine. What do you like? What do you want to see? And then they showed me some other photos of an exterior style that was entirely different. And I was like, oh, okay. That would have been good to know the first time, but I'll fix that now. So I went back totally. I took the whole roof off, just like destroyed the roof. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of what's designed in a house is you lay out all the walls and then you like basically build up roof geometry on top of those walls to create an exterior look. And so I had to just like destroy it, to like delete the whole roof, move the walls around, and then start over with the roof anyway. And so that was frustrating, but also a good learning opportunity. So, grateful for the work and everything. But that was definitely a learning experience. So one of the tricky things is when you're the one selling, like I'm the one selling and drawing currently, is I need to be able to anticipate the personality type of who I'm selling to. And I would be lying if I said there was not a correlation between, first of all, the gender of who I'm selling it to and how easy it is going to be to convince them of something, or their ability to grasp something. I don't know if there's like actually a biological difference in like spatial visualization, but boy, howdy, in the design industry, it's very common for husbands to be like, oh yeah, I can see that house in 3D in construction, or they both can't do it, but guys are less likely to be like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. And they're just like, it's a pride thing. That's entirely possible. I'm not going to rule that out as a possibility. But yeah, that's a thing. So you have to be able to gauge how much do they know they want. First of all, if they say, yeah, we know what we want. Okay. That's good check mark. If they say they don't know what they want, okay. Red flag right there. If the way they're speaking about the thing they want is incongruent, or it's wishy-washy, or it's like you can tell there's just something not quite right, or they're lining up and they say, oh yeah, of course we know what we want. And then they start talking about like, oh yeah, we really like this floor plan. Oh, but we also really like this other floor plan. Oh, and we like this style, but like we also really like this other style. And it's just like that you have to guess, you have to gauge, because what they're not going to do is, especially if you set it up as, yeah, like I'll be honest, like I draw for people that know what they want. Like I'm trying to make sure there's a fit here. And if you say that, but here's the problem I've been having is when I'm selling, I'm showing them what they're going to get. I'm showing them the 3D, like rendering real-time thing. I'm showing them how we're going to work through the process. And people love that process. People eat that up. And so once I do that and they want to work with me very badly, and I'm trying to like qualify them, they're sold on me. Now I'm not like trying to figure them out and see if like I want to work with them. The problem is that now they're going to say things that may or may not be true, or like they just, to total fairness, they don't know how to do this before. Like they've not done this before, or they don't know how to do it now. And so like if I make the statement, yeah, you have to know what you want, that's really vague. And so lots of people aren't going to know what I'm talking about. And that's fine. But it's my job and my responsibility to have experience doing this so that I can help people not work with me if it's a bad fit. because I could show them something and be like, oh, they really want this process. But if they're a bad fit for me, and I know that, they're not going to get the best service from like what I think they could have gotten, because I know I have like a deficiency in a certain set of skills. And so I would rather them not work with me and go to somebody who can help them better. So anyway, that's part of the game, is figuring out that thing. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, everybody thinks they have what they want all figured out. And my job is to filter out the ones that show signs of risk. That's my job. So that's what I do. What else we got here? Oh yeah, this was from, I'm recently reading the Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Good read. Read that before, always worth reading again. And the idea there that he was talking about in a brief part was, I already forgot it because I looked away from my notes. Oh yeah, he was talking about a business example, and it reminded me of, what my goal was with Rapid Designs, which was that I'm building a drafting machine. I'm aiming to solve a problem that exists where people need something customized, but they know how it needs to be customized, and there's very minimal variability. For that situation, if you get into the world of people who just draw lots of customization, you wait a long time. And my job is to find those people who can pay the right number with the right circumstances and then give them their thing back within a day or two. That's like my goal. That's the specific problem that I'm solving here. So that's the idea. If people want things on paper, drafted, plans, all that, then that's what we do. So that was good. Oh yeah. And then he made another comment. Mom and pops, like mom and pop restaurants, mom and pop businesses, they're very good with quality, but they struggle to maintain consistency. And that kind of comes back to the original point of like the distractions. So the smaller a business is, the more balls have to be juggled by the person running the business or people running the business. So if, for example, Rapid Designs was, let's say, 3 employees, me, a draftsman, and an office manager, then what we'd have is a very efficient system where the inbound and outbound is controlled. Well, outbound would be sales, would be me, but like customer satisfaction, whatever, would be handled by the draftsman. But anyway, you could split up the roles so that each person is better at their thing. And because my job is to price the work at a number that makes it work at scale, that's the thing. So that's why like the price has to be a certain number, is because the price is not just supporting a guy who's drawing the plans. He's supporting all of the other things that make the business work at scale. That's the trick there. So anyway, those are my comments. That's where I'm at. Yeah, this is the thing. Now you all are up to date. Let's do a quick chat shout out here while we're here. Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf, says that is cool on the origin story. Mine is a laptop and my earplugs, which has a little mic. Perfect. That's all you need. You need a sound input source and a camera. Would be great. Well, I mean, you don't even need the camera if you can podcast and stuff. So that's awesome. Centurion 54X. Hello, sir. Hope the farm's doing well. Hope all that's going great. Good to see you. I don't sound echoey at all. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. And yes, welcome, Centurion. Good to see you. All right. So yeah, we got a little bit of a weird show today, but I figured I set all this stuff up, made sure everything was working such that we can do our crazy live streams. And that is all, folks. If you want to find out what I'm going to be doing with all this equipment and it's not on this YouTube channel, find me on Instagram. I will chat my handle right now. Make sure that's spelled correctly. That is my Instagram handle. So find me on Instagram. That is where I will probably post a link to something of the shenanigans that I'm going to be up to with all this equipment that I've set up here. And yeah, that's what we got. So thank you everybody for coming on. Oh, we got one more chat here. Happy Saturday from the one and only Jenna Nelson. Good to see you, Jenna. Happy Saturday indeed. You know, we do on Saturdays, we work. Happy Saturday, Jenna. That's right. Happy Saturday. Rapid City, folks. That's right. We got a green heart because these are green lights this time. I got a Philips Hue light in here, and so I'm able to actually match the tones of these lights to each other a little bit better. So hopefully that looks better. This is a super bare bones setup right now. Like I've got my two rectangular lights trying to do even light from this side. If y'all don't know the quick rules on producing a studio or something lighting like this, what you do is I set these lights, the brightness that I want on, so that camera is already adjusted. These two are auto adjusting, so they're not set, but you set it into manual exposure and then you expose to the background. So if I popped out of this, it would look a little dark. And then what you do is you bring in lighting to light up the subject and you leave the settings on the camera alone. And theoretically, you can adjust the brightness of those lights to get your subject properly lit. So I'm playing with that, learning how to do that. And yeah, we're making progress. Good to see everybody out there. But yeah, that's Rapid City behind us. I have this nice big wall now. These are 9-foot ceilings in here. I don't have an 8-foot ceiling anymore, which is super cool. As somebody who draws houses that are like this big, that are huge all the time, I'm like, man, it sure be kind of cool to live in a house like that. But like, I don't need that much space. Mr. Pumpkin would have a great time. He'd run all over the place, and I could probably get another like 10 kittens. That'd be great. But I don't need that, and it's more maintenance than I require right now. So this is a good setup. I have more floor space. Man, I have to say, I have so much more closet space and shelving in here. I am actually able to like put stuff that doesn't belong out away, which is really novel. So the little previous apartment I had was just like literally a room with a kitchen and a bedroom, and like that was it. And the bedroom there's a little small bathroom and stuff, but like no, there's just way more space in here. I got a bigger wall for all these houses, so hopefully when we crank up the drawing machine, I've been selling it, a bunch of selling this week, so we'll do more next week. Oh, also update with the selling. Oh boy, hope he doesn't knock that light down. Mr. Pumpkin's about to cuddle with the light that's over there dangling on the cat tree, but we won't talk about that. Shoot, what was I talking about? Updates with somebody in the chat remind me what I was about to say. Drawing, selling. I think I was talking about selling something. Hey, no, sir. Don't you look at me like that. Selling. Oh, yeah. So I have switched back to using Phone Burner, and it is like I got to pay for it. So like that's inconvenient, but like whatever. But it's a better leverage tool to get people to pick up the phone because I can wrap with a area code that matches where they are working. So I've got like 6 area codes bought right now where depending on where I'm calling in Texas, I can get them to pick up. And I've only got like, let's check right now, guys. Let me give you the live update while we're waiting for that to load. Jenna says it looks amazing. Charlotte says, keep being a champ, Sam. Thank you, Charlotte. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jenna. I want that set up 1000%. Well, Charlotte, I will be looking for a administrative assistant at some point soon. So I'll actually probably post about that on my next live stream because I'm working on that this week. So that's key. If you want potentially to be part of the setup, then you just hit me up. Closet space is so nice. Hands up. That's right. Closet space is great. You can keep dead bodies. You can keep the children. You can put them in the closet. You could keep your homosexuality in the closet. Is that a bad joke? Bad joke. Wrong. Closet space is always nice. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Have a good weekend, Charlotte. Thanks for coming on. Okay, I was checking the CRM here. So in the cold leads bucket, folks, there are 75. Now, of those 75, what I did is I got through the entire list. And then I went back and there were a certain quantity of individuals that never picked up the phone. And I never got any contact with them at all. And so I'm going back through it with Phone Burner with the wrapped area code because I was doing my cell phone. So it was all Washington based. And people are like, oh, is this Washington caller calling me? And I just decided to like never fix it and just keep working through it. But now I've got through it all. So Texas area codes, I'm going through that list again. I've got 75 left in there. And then once I'm out of those, I'm going to have to decide which state to call next. And the reality is that I could start doing other things because there are more builders in Texas that don't know I exist. But I'm going to just let the network effect do its thing in Texas. And instead, I'm going to follow what I think Hormozy would want me to do, which is more of the thing you already are doing. More, better, new is the order of things you should do if you're ever doubting what you should do next. And that's because as I do more, I have a system. I get people in the system. I call them. I say this thing. I say this thing. I offer this thing. I do this thing. And like, it's a funnel and it works. Now it's just more. I need to do more. So when you have something that works, do more, you're going to get better, which is going to increase your closing percentage and your leverage with the whole thing. As soon as you try something new, then which is why I'm not here trying to get leads off of YouTube because I don't know how. So if you guys are watching this and you want a house design, where's the camera? There it is. That's the camera. If you want a house design, you, I'm getting the cameras wrong. There's you and you over here. You guys, if you guys want a special house design, then hit me up, I guess, somehow. You can't do it on YouTube, but I did put my Instagram in the chat. So hit me up on Instagram. But maybe I'll be able to get you into my funnel. We'll see. But in the meantime, we're just going to have fun here on YouTube and hopefully educate some people and share some knowledge and just have a good old time. That's what we're going to do. Cool. Here we go. Tie your kids in the closet and there you go. Best way to handle that, LOL. So everyone knows that was sarcasm and dark humor. Well, I'm sure glad it wasn't just sarcasm or just dark humor. I'm glad it's both. Thank you, Charlotte. Appreciate that. All righty, folks. Okay, that was everything. That's my update. That's where we're at. We got cool things going on. We got the one and only Green Observer over here who's just killing it. This guy works hard. And we got good things coming in the future. At some point, maybe next weekend, I'll convince him to get on the live stream. And he'll say hello to everybody, put his face to a name. We'll see if we can convince the Green Observer. Hey, girls, if you're in the chat, go ahead and shout out the Green Observer and tell him he should come on live because you want to see his pretty face. Maybe we can convince him together. Shout out the Green Observer. Maybe he wants to remain anonymous. We don't know. But yeah, give him a shout out. Put a 1 in the chat if you want Green Observer to come on. Oh, because he does great work. Okay. I don't think I have anything else to say. I gave you the update with the business. I gave you update with the technology. I gave the update with the apartment. Mr. Pumpkin is over there, and he did, in fact, lay on the cord. And so I think when he gets up, that light might come down. So I'll go ahead and end this stream before that happens. We got a 1 in the chat already right there. So it's been said, Mr. Green Observer, you have been requested to come on. So if you are watching this, you have been requested. So I'll see you guys later. Let's end this live stream and get back to our lives and learning and making money and solving problems. Bye-bye.